What if I told you that India's biggest superstar wasn't just a bus conductor before fame, but also worked as a carpenter and a coolie to make ends meet? Yes, before the fame, the fan hysteria, and the flying cigarettes, Rajinikanth lived hand to mouth, doing hard physical labor in then Bangalore, now Bengaluru, just to survive. Behind the sunglasses, the swagger, and the slow motion walks is a man whose life is a masterclass in humility, discipline, and self awareness. And wait till lesson 10 because that one features a brutally honest moment that reveals Rajinikanth's core like nothing else. Let's dive into 10 life changing lessons from the one and only Rajinikanth lessons that go far beyond cinema. Lesson 1: Your beginnings don't define your future. Rajinikanth, born Shivaji Rao Gaikwad, lost his mother at age 9. As a teenager, he worked as a carpenter, a porter, and eventually a bus conductor, earning 750 rupees a month. But his dreams were never limited by his payslip. He enrolled in the Madras Film Institute, sharpened his craft, and got noticed by director K. Balachandar, who gave him his first break. It's easy to feel stuck because of where we come from. But Rajini's life tells you that your background is your platform, not your prison. So the next time you feel stuck, remember where you start doesn't decide where you finish. And that brings us to lesson 2, a principle that defines not just his work ethic but his entire career. Lesson 2: Let your work do the talking. While today's stars live on social media platforms and pre-release tours, Rajinikanth rarely promotes his movies. He stays away from interviews, controversies, and PR blitzes. Yet, theatres explode when his films release. That's the magic of doing your job so well that your silence speaks louder than the noise. In a world chasing viral moments, Talaivar Rajini built a legacy through quiet consistency. His silence off screen speaks volumes, but it's not just humility in his work, it's humility in how he lives. That leads us to lesson 3, which is stay simple, stay real. In the 1990s, when Jayalalitha was CM, Rajinikanth's car was stopped in Chennai traffic for her convoy. Instead of pulling rank, he stepped out, bought a pack of cigarettes, and calmly leaned against a lamppost. As crowds gathered around him, traffic got worse. The cop pleaded with him to move. Rajini just smiled and said, "I'm waiting for the CM. I don't mind waiting." That moment became legend, not just for the scene, but for the statement it made. In a world full of egos, Rajinikanth chose calm over control. He didn't act like a star, he acted like a citizen. Staying grounded is rare, but taking ownership, especially when the world is watching, is even rarer. Which brings us to lesson 4, one of the boldest things Rajini has ever done, and that is admit your failures and make things right. When his big budget film Baba flopped in 2002, Rajinikanth didn't blame the script, audience, or director. He did something almost no star does. He reimbursed the distributors who lost money. No ego, no excuses, just accountability. It's easy to celebrate success. True character shows in how you own your failures. Accountability is powerful, but what fuels its character every day? It's not motivation, it's something far more dependable, which takes us to lesson 5, which is discipline beats motivation. Rajinikanth's daily routine is legendary. Up before sunrise, yoga and meditation, spiritual reading, clean, simple eating, no sugar or junk, long walks, even in his 70s. This isn't just a lifestyle, it's a philosophy. He isn't powered by motivation, he's powered by discipline, and that's what fuels his clarity and energy. His routine brings him clarity, but his confidence, that comes from turning the very things people mock into a legendary style. Let's talk about that in lesson 6, which is make your weakness your brand. When he entered cinema, Rajinikanth was everything a hero wasn't supposed to be. Dark skin tone, raspy voice, unconventional looks, odd mannerisms. Critics laughed, but he didn't hide any of it. He leaned in. The punchy dialogues, the cigarette flip, the sunglasses trick, they became iconic. The world tried to reject his uniqueness, he made it his signature. He didn't try to fit in, he made standing out his strength. But while the world saw the swagger, few noticed what kept him truly centered, and that brings us to lesson 7. Grow spiritually, not just socially. At the peak of his fame, Rajinikanth often vanishes not to New York or London but to the Himalayas. Alone, no media, no fanfare. He spends daily in silence in ashrams, caves, or walking forest paths near Rishikesh. In interviews, he once said, I go there to disconnect from Rajinikanth and reconnect with Shivaji Rao. His spiritual strength kept him grounded, but his loyalty, that's what built an unshakable foundation around him, and that takes us to lesson 8, which is stay loyal to your people. Rajinikanth is known for keeping the same makeup man, drivers, and crew for decades. While most in the industry upgrade their circle, he stays connected to those who helped him rise. He even checks in on childhood friends and former crew members. In a world that moves fast and forgets faster, Rajinikanth chose to remember and stay rooted. And when it comes to priorities, there's one thing he never compromises on, and that's lesson number 9, which is value health over hype. Many celebrities spend fortunes trying to look young. Rajinikanth invests in being well. After a health scare in 2011, he adopted a stricter wellness regimen following Ayurvedic principles, eating clean and meditating daily. Because no amount of stardom matters if your health can't carry it. In lesson 10 comes a story that reveals Rajinikanth's true charm. Laugh at yourself before the world does. At the audio launch of Robo, Endiran, in 2010, Rajinikanth shared on stage when he recalled a moment from his visit to his brother's home in Bangalore. A Rajasthani neighbor named Nandulal asked him, "Picture ka naam kya hai?" Rajinikanth replied, "Robo." The neighbor followed up, "Heroine kaun?" Rajini said, "Aishwarya Rai." Then came the golden question from Nandulal, "Hero kaun?" Rajinikanth smiled and said, "Main hoon." The neighbor stared, confused, disbelieving, and was later overheard muttering. Rajinikanth didn't get offended. He didn't correct him. He shared his story on stage, laughed with the audience, and publicly thanked Aishwarya Rai for working with him. That's Rajinikanth. Comfortable enough in his skin to laugh at himself and powerful enough to earn everyone's respect for it. When you don't take yourselves too seriously, the world can't help but take you seriously. Rajinikanth's life isn't just a story of superstardom. It's a reminder to stay grounded when you succeed, keep learning when you fail, live simply even when you can afford excess, and build a life so real that even silence feels powerful.